I've been asked time and time again to create a Halberd build. Although I don't enjoy the playstyle very much, there was one weapon that was really fun to use. So I built a solid damaging build on top of it, with some standard buffs, and was pretty happy with the result. Welcome to my Slide and Die Halberd build for Code Vein. So a quick summary of the build. You stack a bunch of buffs and slide around from enemy to enemy using the Assassin Sickle's charge attack, doing some insane damage. The range of this weapon is fairly large as well, so even when you undershoot the charge attack, you'll likely land your combo. I think you've seen enough on how the build plays. Let's talk about the build itself. We start with the Queen Slayer, which I'll likely be using for a lot of my builds I make in the future due to the final journey. The strength and dex and mind stats all work pretty well with the Assassin Sickle. Speaking of, we use the Assassin Sickle at plus 10 fortified. Use your preference here. If you prefer adding elemental damage, do that. You want to drain more Ichor? Use Devour. I was looking for more damage, so I fortified. My Veil is a GXL Defender. Since while we're in Final Journey, our speed is crazy high to begin with, the weight no longer matters, and since I'm playing on New Game Plus, we need that extra tankiness. Feel free to fortify this. Passes are pretty simple this time around. We're using the Halberd Mastery, Mind/Fortitude up to meet the minimum requirements for one of our buffs, Strength/Dex up, standard damage boost, and Swift Destruction, which we take advantage of during our Final Journey phase. Normally we're too heavy to gain anything from this passive, but since our movement speed gets insanely high during Final Journey, we can get quite a bit of damage out of it. For our actives, we got our standard ability, Chariot Rush. I don't use this attack very often, but if your boss is staggered or you see an opportunity, use it. Next up is Gift Extension. If you don't have it, don't worry, but it increases our buff length by 50%, so I highly recommend that if you don't want to be reapplying those buffs every single minute or so, you have to have this ability. Next up, we got most of our damaging buffs like Bridge of Glory and Adrenaline, and the elemental buffs too. I'm currently using Blood and Flame just to test this out, and they do indeed stack. A good idea if you're missing some of the abilities is to stack more elements to get more damage out of your swings. Final Journey is basically our trump card. It increases our speed, damage, basically everything. But we die in 4.5 minutes after using it. We need to make sure that when we use Final Journey, that it's with a purpose. We have to finish off the area or the boss in the time that we have. And finally, we got Blood Sacrifice. So when you're buffing yourself up with all of these other actives, you'll notice you don't have the Ichor required to quite use every single one of them. Blood Sacrifice drains your health and gives you Ichor. Use this ability in order to keep yourself buffed up, and remember that Final Journey will also heal you to full, so I like to use it as my last buff. I wasn't a big fan of polearm initially, but once I started sliding around on the map, things got a lot more fun. Is this the strongest build in the game? Nah, definitely not. I have builds stronger than this on my channel already. Playlist is in the description if you want to check it out, by the way. Although the polearm doesn't have high damage, or at least as high as some of the other builds, it is fun, and it is close. So if you really want to use a polearm build, this one will work just fine. I'm still one-shotting enemies with the slide in New Game Plus, so if you're just starting the game, or if you're on your second playthrough, you're really going to shine with this one. My entire channel is based around helping you play longer, faster, and better, so you can do the things that matter most. Consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss my future builds and guides. I'm also planning on playing the Outer Worlds in a few weeks when it comes out, so if you're interested in that game, definitely subscribe. I'll be making content like this for that game as well. I just want to thank everyone again. We sailed right past 1,000 subscribers and we're heading towards 1,500 already at the time of this video. And I couldn't have done it without all of you. I hope you continue to enjoy my videos and I hope I can continue to help you out. Happy gaming.